America.
You must be new in town.
We use Tide Oxy Boost.
It's a lifesaver.
The most powerful clean in any universe.
Do not watch this film tonight. Captain America 4, everyone. Captain America Brave New World, I think it's called. Let's give it its proper title. My favourite part of Brave New World was when Red Wing took control of the shield and defended Sam against the helicopter fire. So fucking cool. So there's a new Marvel Studios Captain America film out in cinemas as we speak, but it's the first one with Anthony Mackie as the titular character. It is technically Captain America 4, but really it's sort of a soft reboot at the same time. I guess this is following on from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, which I haven't seen. Whoopsie, there's too many of these mid-shows to watch. I don't like them. They're awful. But you need to have watched that film to understand this film. How about I just wanted to see a blockbuster. I wanted to see what modern action blockbuster movies had to offer me. Oh dear.
Tip the global balance. Tip the global balance.
I haven't been keeping up with most Marvel media because it isn't worthy of being viewed. Even in its heyday, it was sort of like at a resting batting average of 6 out of 10 media. Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, James Gunn stuff, that's good. But there's other things that's just like, that's alright, that's pretty good. I've got a few good elements there, but kind of just mid overall. I went to see this film because it has been a while since I last saw a Marvel film. I also thought it would make for a funny review because I suspected that it would be bad. But also I was just checking in on what one of the biggest action blockbuster franchises of the modern era had to offer the big screen. How is mainstream cinema getting by? Like, what are they feeding the masses at the moment? And is it of good substance? Is it of good quality? No!
Wait, there's a Red Hulk now?
This film allegedly had a very rough production. There was a lot of changes and a lot of indecision as to what direction the film's plot was meant to go in. Producers were constantly changing their mind about what story they wanted to tell, and this was very costly on production as they'd shoot entire sequences, entire action set pieces, and then be like, oh no, we don't need that actually more, that's irrelevant, that doesn't fit. Get it gone. Cast member Harrison Ford apparently hated being there, which comes as no surprise to anyone, really. And then mix that in with the fact that he had to put on all of this motion capture gear to play Red Hulk. It's like, why are you making this guy do all this? Why did you sign up for this also? That's another big question. Now, before I review this film, I just want to implore everyone watching not to see this film. I'm not being hyperbolic. It's just so unworthy of anyone's attention. I feel dirty for watching it. It felt like a pointless endeavour to go and see this at the cinema. I got nothing from it. I felt like a complete fucking idiot. I feel like a shill now, even for covering this on my YouTube channel. I like to keep these reviews of really, really cynical films, like soulless films, to a minimum. You know, don't review too many bad films. I'm not the critical drinker where I just get blackpilled on the amount of shite Hollywood crap I watch.
Oh yeah, and this small child shows up for like 5 minutes to give us the obligatory girl boss moment.
At the very least, wait until it's on some kind of streaming platform, because it's just not one of those films that you go to see at the cinema. It's so mundane and inoffensive. Please do not give it the time of day. Please, please, please. Mate, it's the new Sabrina Carpenter song.
Captain America Brave New World, rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
For me to best sum up what the problem with this film is, we first have to view the MCU as an ongoing TV show more than a series of films and franchises. Like, this is Captain America 4, but really it's Marvel Part 69 or something. I'm really sorry I used that number, it just came to mind first. But this film is a sequel to Eternals. It's a sequel to the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, which I haven't seen. It's a sequel to The Incredible Hulk from 2008. Finally, Tim Blake Nelson's back. I was wondering when he'd show up. And now that we are viewing this film more so as another episode in a long-running TV show, I'd call it a mediocre episode of a TV show. A bland installment, one of those filler episodes that you forget soon after watching. And that TV analogy becomes even more appropriate because this thing feels like something you'd find switching through the channels back in 2008. There's a cheapness to it. The CGI is once again awful. That's something that a lot of people always clown on when it comes to these Marvel films, and fair enough. Nothing's changed here. Same situation, CGI is unpolished, it's rushed, it's uninspired. inspired, it's non-immersive. Action scenes that are supposed to have these gritty and grounded aspects to them are flimsy and way too smooth. And seeing as how the action is one of the main things that this film supposedly has to offer the audience, if the action's bad, then it kind of puts a negative on the whole film. Sometimes a film can be weak in one or two categories but still be good, but with a film that's so action focused like this, it's essentially John Wick. Like, if the action's shit in John Wick, we're kind of fucked, aren't we? Also on that note, whilst I was watching this film, I was reminded of just how formulaic the action scenes are when it comes to the structure of the film. They occur at such typical obligatory times where it's like, oh, here we go again, here's another action scene, just right on cue. There's always that initial introductory action set piece which always has the exact same pacing and dialogue with all of these quips and whatnot and all this humour, and then maybe there's 15 minutes at most of dialogue scenes, and then it's more action which is all lackluster, and then again and again every 15 minutes or so, like clockwork. Of course this wouldn't have been as big a problem had the action been good, but no luck there, I'm afraid.
Tide.
Thank you.
Now, despite the onslaught of CGI-heavy action set pieces, there were a few more hand-to-hand focused sequences, and they were a bit better. They were a little bit of an improvement. They were a little bit more in the realm of what was probably needed for this film to be visually engaging, I guess, but they're just like a poor imitation of the action sequences from Winter Soldier and Civil War and whatnot. In those films, the Russo brothers did a really good job at directing the action. As I recall, it was very well choreographed and visually engaging to watch. Here there was just nothing stand out on display, and there were too many cuts as well, because when you do these cool fight sequences, you're supposed to make it as fluid as possible on a cinematographic level at least, so you can clearly see all of the impressive fighting moves that the characters are doing, and it's really satisfying to watch, but they just kept cutting around it. And I mentioned Winter Soldier, which famously had a tone that was homaging the political spy thriller vibe. This film obviously tries to do the same thing again, but it's just a poor imitation, like I said before. Sure, it has a tone, it has a style, like I don't even want to call it a style, but it's just some no-name director trying to copy what the Russo brothers did. It just felt like there was no love that went into this film. No one wanted to see it, and no one wanted to make it. Why does it exist? Well, we all know why. Capitalism, baby, I guess. Was I ever bored? Not really. Was I ever intrigued? Nope. Also, I don't really know what's going on when there's a shot where there should be no need for the use of CGI, yet it looks extremely fake and phony. There are so many shots where Anthony Mackie's just stood in like a field or like a normal environment, yet it looks utterly fake. Like, what's going on? How have you fucked that up? I guess because of all the reshoots and all the changes, they were like, okay, well now Anthony Mackie, he's not supposed to be standing in a field, he's supposed to be standing in a car park. Oh wait, no, change of plan from head office, we now need to put him in an airport. Oh no, now it's a fucking a grove or some shit, I don't know, it's Yosemite National Park. Scenes where the fucking character is just in a normal fucking environment, not even in like an alien environment or like a futuristic environment that doesn't exist, just a normal fucking environment, like a fucking car park. And it looks fake as shit. We can't get Anthony Mackie back on set today to do the reshoot, so take Anthony Mackie out of that scene and put him in a scene where he's in a Starbucks. Change of plan. Come and get me! There's a final set piece which takes place in a cherry blossom grove, and it's just all CGI crap. None of it is real. Like, just go to a real fucking location, you lazy cunts. Sorry, that was a bit mean. Now, going to real locations in films is a big factor for me when it comes to my immersion. I really like it when people actually go out there, like, you go on a real adventure to make a movie. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, they go out to the fucking desert, they go out to fucking South America. It's a real adventure. I recently watched Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, and it's not the best movie ever made. It's not got the greatest story or the best dialogue or anything, but it's memorable and it's fun. And you watch it and you're like, yeah, that was cool. And that is an action thriller about climbing mountains, and they go up real mountains to do it. And the cinematography, whatever else you can say about that film, is gorgeous. It's awesome. The first shot of Sylvester Stallone hanging off these rocks with this huge drop underneath him that's all real, or at the very least looks real, because there's effort been made. There's effort. What does all this tell you? It tells me that to make a spectacle, you have to go to the spectacle. You have to endure the spectacle. Tom Cruise, look at Tom Cruise. He hangs off a fucking plane for a movie. and it looks great. Anthony Mackie spends 6 months in a fucking soundstage. Brilliant.
You have no idea. Someone's been pulling the strings. Someone's been...
Sarah, reach up! Come on, honey! Use your other hand! Reach up! Reach up now!
The strangest part of this film was Harrison Ford's performance because it's not good, it's not really convincing. He's this old man who doesn't want to be there, and he sort of tries to be animated and larger than life, but it comes over as shaky. You gotta do this for me, Falcon. Like, no one behaves like this. Is this guy okay? But it is always fun to watch geriatric actors who should have retired years ago. He's got a huge role in this film. They make him do so much. Like, what are they doing to this guy? Anthony Mackie's character in this is usually someone who annoys me quite a lot, but in this film he was a bit more reserved, less quippy.
Must have been a rough couple of years.
Yeah, well, the hotels weren't exactly 5-star.
But Marvel has taken this guy who was once a fairly cool, laid-back, badass actor and moulded him into this inoffensive, annoying, quippy arsehole who honestly just feels more white than ever. Like Anthony Mackie, we forget, he had quite a prominent career pre-Marvel, and now he's sort of weirdly turned into this typecast dude who's just a bland motherfucker. I used to regard him as this proper actor, but now he's just this studio prop.
Nothing about this feels right.
Since Anthony Mackie was formerly the generic sidekick of the old Captain America, now that he is Captain America, he has his own generic sidekick. So now we have the generic sidekick of the generic sidekick. But yeah, it's just fucking hell. Also, Bucky Barnes has a cameo in this, and it's meant to be a big surprise, a big, oh my god, a jaw-dropping moment that's going to go on TikTok later. Oh my god. There's a bunch of people in my audience going, oh, it's Bucky, it's Bucky, it's Bucky. It's like, who gives a shit? It's some guy, this is not an A-list fucking superhero. The fact that this is the level we're operating at, where it's like, oh my god, it's Bucky. Remember Bucky, the Winter Soldier? Oh my god, the metal arm guy. Yes. Like we saw him like 5 seconds ago in the Thunderbolts trailer, which played before the fucking film. I couldn't wait for the Bucky Barnes cameo. I had a feeling it was going to come, but it did, and it made my fucking day. Made my year.
Missed you too.
There was another new character that was a source of controversy around this film because she was apparently like an Israeli woman or something, which was like, okay. People were mad because the character was formerly a member of a certain Israeli military group. People were apparently going to boycott the film. I mean, boycott it because it's shit, not because of this.
The new Captain America movie needs to be boycotted, voided by anyone who claims to stand in solidarity with Palestinians.
As for all that drama, I really don't care for any of that, and if you're one of these people that kind of thinks in that kind of way, where it's like, has this film got any like politically offensive or problematic things going on in it? Please just fuck off. I've seen people complaining that this film is pro-Israel because of all this, because of the inclusion of that character. It's really not. And again, if you think like this when it comes to media, you just got the supreme brain rot. Fucking hell, there's no worse brain rot than political ideology. Fuck you. But as for the Israeli character herself, she was actually quite cute. I had a thing for her.
Girl boss.
She was really short and kind of middle-aged, but she had something about her. I don't know, just kind of transfixed me a little bit. This film is strange because, again, it's a political thriller, and it seemed that the plot was meant to amount to more, but all that ended up happening was this Ross character got angry. This Ross guy is played by Harrison Ford. He's this newly elected president who has a controversial past and a short temperament. And this film, despite having this espionage tone, just winds up being about this guy trying not to get angry and then getting angry in the end. But that's all it is. It's just a character arc for him, and I guess people might find that interesting, fair enough. It's very simplistic plot-wise. It's just, oh, don't get angry, Harrison Ford. It might lead to some bad things. Oh, don't, calm down. Oh no, it's too late. Oh no. But because I guess it has that tone which implies that this film is supposed to be about more than just some guy losing his shit, it feels so simplistic when it ends. It's like, oh, that was it? There's no complex conspiracy, there's no complex display of geopolitics, there's nothing really. This film ends up having this trite message of, well, we gotta see the good in people. Everyone has good in them, they also have bad in them, and sometimes we just see the bad parts, we only see the bad parts of President Ross, and we gotta be nice to President Ross. because he has good parts as well. President Ross has this redemption arc, and I didn't expect that, to be fair. I thought it would go in like a Trump allegory direction. Now, apparently that was actually what was supposed to happen, like there was supposed to be this political commentary of some sort. But it said that on set there was this growing reluctance to make a scathing statement about Trump, who is now the official president, and hence piss off like 50% of the population. So they pussied out because now Trump is the popular thing and it's no longer beneficial to criticize him. That's great. That's a great mark of just genuine expressionism there. And it would have probably been some crude, disingenuous commentary anyway, because they never really get the Trump thing right, but still, like, just to back out of it because of that is just so fucking cynical. Like, on one hand, I'm glad we didn't get any trite, pseudo-intellectual commentaries about Trump, but on the other, I'm like, you guys pussied out. So Thaddeus Ross, I think his name is, at the end he turns into the Hulk because he just loses his shit. He's like, oh, I'm just too angry now, grr. And that's the big action set piece, that's the big finale, and it's shit. The Red Hulk gimmick was the only thing that this film had to offer that was somewhat of note, like something they could market, so they put it all over the trailers, all over the posters. Structurally, however, as the Red Hulk only emerges in the third act, it was definitely supposed to be somewhat of a surprise, like something you don't reveal in the trailers. You don't reveal third act information in the trailers. It's literally the one thing that the whole film is slowly building up towards, and it's just like, it's all over the marketing. It's pathetic because, again, the film had nothing else to market itself on. So Captain America and Red Hulk have a fight in a fake cherry blossom grove. It looks like shit. There's no tension because Captain America has this overpowered Wakandan armor where he essentially can never sustain damage. It's the same technology that the Black Panther suit had in the Black Panther film, and I remember that being a prominent criticism about that there was no tension because the main character is essentially indestructible. Also, just on a visual level, this whole like, oh, the kinetic energy absorbed is so bland and like, oh, cool, it's all gonna go, everything's, all the nanotechnology, it's shit. It's fucking shit. But then he calms the Red Hulk down by saying, listen, we gotta see the good in people, and I'm gonna try and see the good in you. Let's all calm down. Yeah, happy ending. Sus. Do not watch this film. Do not watch this film. Do not watch this film. That was me checking in on the current quality of Marvel, like a little sample for me just to taste, and yeah, I did not like that. I did not like that at all, and I'm not going to check out any more Marvel films in the near future. It was a huge mistake going to see that, and I'm sorry, but I have this membership anyway for this cinema, and I didn't actually pay to see this film technically, so yeah, that's cool. It's not outrageously bad, it just has a very inconsequential plot that makes you feel as though you're watching some melodramatic by-the-numbers spy show. There's no passion that's gone into it, the action is bland, the CGI is rushed and unconvincing, and all in all, because the story does amount to so little, it feels incomplete, which is probably down to the pandemonium on set. And also, Harrison Ford, if you hate working on these films so much, just fucking stop, alright? It's not even fucking funny anymore. It's so base though, because he's always miserable. Like, no, it's not. He's a fucking dumbass. He only has himself to blame. No one go see this. I should never have gone to see it in the first place myself, so just don't. Please don't. You know what? Torrent it. Torrent it.
Because there's a character in this movie who is essentially an IDF agent.
Thank you to the patrons. Thank you DF. Thank you Doug Gem. Thank you KC Gann. Thank you Magical Weasel. Thank you Mason Lydon. Thank you Matt Delaney. Thank you Oh I'm Dean.
And remember to fucking subscribe.
You having a wank? You having a wank? You having a wank?
The throat.
You having a wank? You having a wank?
You disgusting fat fuck.
You having a wank? You
Right
having a
by
wank?
the throat.
You having a wank?
You
having a wank?
disgusting fat fuck.
You having a wank? You having a wank?